Here's one of the nucs that we'd made up earlier in the season. We run out of nuke box equipment. We filled up all the 6s, we filled up all the 5s. We still had this whole bunch of bees we need to make use of. We kept making cells, so we just kept filling up all the equipment I had available within the honey farm. What I'm doing right now is I'm kind of sifting some of this into empty spots within the apiary. Just my continued effort to maintain these spots, right? And I do it with youth, I do it with fresh bees. And that's what I've been doing this morning, just running around, just filling empty spots. I want to go down in here just to take a peek to see what's going on. Some of these nucs are kind of big, so we're going to have to put seconds on right away. They're bringing in nectar and starting to plug out the nest, so I got to make sure they have space. Some of them aren't as big, so we just got to recognize which ones need the space and which ones are satisfied a little bit. So we'll just go down, take a peek. So what I have going here is typical little nuke arrangement. 1, 2, 3 frames in here. So I would have gave them about a frame and a half of brood, some honey, and then we just filled the space with foundation because this is the best we can do. Some of them were a little bit bigger, and we have the foundation in here. Well, if we had brood comb, we'd use brood comb, but we have the foundation just so when they expand, they have the place to put all the resource. Some of these little nucs maybe made a little bit bigger, pulling in nectar, and they've filled out like 2 or 3 of these foundation frames already. So it's important not to leave empty space, even when you're making up nucs. I just want to go down and take a peek on the goings on. These ones have already started. Well, they have that foundation drawn out, filled up with nectar already. Going on to the honey frame, full of pollen, very nicely organized. Honey, pollen, mostly honey on this side. So that tells me the nest is probably on the next frame. And it is. It's a sexy little brood pattern going on. It's not an overly big colony, but the queen's very well established. They have enough bees to maintain their development. Inside is capped brood. Then as you work out, it gets younger and younger. So this is mature larvae about to get capped, and then eggs all the way around the outside. Young larvae and eggs, rimmed with syrup. Very nice little frame. So I don't expect this unit to make me too much honey this year. There she is. Nice little blackie. Beautiful little queen. And she has this. This is about 3-4 day old larvae in this little patch, rimmed with syrup. And they plugged a whole bunch of pollen in this side with a bunch of eggs. So she's looking to expand this nest. And they've drawn out that side of the foundation frame with wax and nectar. It looks really good. So I'm going to do is switch one of these foundation out to the spare brood frame. One of the things I like to do within my yard is to keep little units like this with all these little place takers here, and maybe we can have 1 or 2 of these within the yard. As we go through the year, I'm going to find colonies to be culled out. I can drop those brood frames into here and put them right back to use. That's if the bees don't already draw out these foundation frames. So just another little use for a place within the apiary. These guys, you know, maybe in 2 weeks I might put a box on top, see if they'll collect a little bit of late flow. But otherwise, these guys are just for development for next year. Holding down the place.